want to say, over the last few years, I've had the opportunity to do this closing conference, and I've had some incredible warm-up acts. About 8 years ago, Billy Graham opened for me, and I thought that there was absolutely no way in hell to top that. But I just wanted to say, and I mean this without irony, I think I can speak for everybody in the audience when I say that I wish to God that you were the President of the United States. Okay, this is the title of my talk today. I just want to give you a quick overview. First of all, please remember, I'm completely politically correct, and I mean everything with great affection. If any of you have sensitive stomachs or are feeling queasy, now's the time to check your BlackBerry. Just to review, this is my TED Talk. We're going to do some jokes, some gags, some little skits, and then we're going to talk about the L1 point. So, one of the questions I ask myself is, was this the most distressing TED ever? Let's try and sum things up, shall we? Images of limb regeneration and faces filled with smallpox, 21% of the conference. Mentions of polar bears drowning, 4%. Images of the Earth being wiped out by flood or bird flu, 64%. And David Pogue singing show tunes. Because this is the most distressing TED ever, I've been working with Neil Gershenfeld on next year's TED Bag. And if the conference is anywhere near this distressing, then we're going to have a Scream Bag next year. It's going to be a cradle-to-cradle Scream Bag, of course. So you're going to be able to go like this. And bring it over here. And open it up. Ah! Meanwhile, back at TED University, this wonderful woman is teaching you how to chop sun chips. So Robert Wright, I don't know, I felt like if there's anyone that Helen needed to give antidepressants to, it might have been him. I want to deliberately interfere with his dopamine levels. He was talking about morality. Economy class morality is, we want to bomb you back to the Stone Age. Business class morality is, don't bomb Japan, they build my car. And first class morality is, don't bomb Mexico, they clean my house. Yes, it is politically incorrect. All right. Now, I want to do a thing where you... All right. Now, I like what I say to you, right? In the fair, you are like, so I wanted to show you guys, I wanted to talk about a revolutionary new computer interface that lets you work with images just as easily as it is a completely natural user interface. And you can use really natural hand gestures to go like this. Now, we had a Harvard professor here. She was from Harvard, I just wanted to mention, and she was actually a professor from Harvard. And she was talking about seven-dimensional inverted universes with, of course, there's the gravity brain, there's the weak brain, and then there's my weak brain, which is too absolutely weak to understand what the fuck she was talking about. Now, one of the things that's very important to me is to try and figure out what on earth am I here for? And that's why I went out and I picked up a best-selling business book. It basically uses its central premise, Greek mythology, and it's by a guy named Pastor Rick Warren, and it's called The porpoise-driven life. And Rick is as a pagan god, which I thought was kind of appropriate in a certain way. And now we're going to have kind of a little bit of more visualization about Rick Warren. Okay. All right. Now, red is Rick Warren, and green is Daniel Dennett, okay? The scales here are religiosity from 0% or atheist to 100% Bible literally true. And then this is books sold, the logarithmic scale. 30,000, 300,000, 3 million, 30 million, 300 million. Okay, now they're duking it out, And Rick Warren's kind of pulling ahead. Yep, and his installed base is getting a little bigger. But Darwin's dangerous idea is coming back. It's coming back. Let me turn the trails on so you can see that a little bit better. Now, one of the things that's very important is Nicholas Negroponte talked to us about one lap dance per... I'm sorry. About one laptop per child. Now let's talk about some of the characteristics that are important for this revolutionary device. I'll tell you a little bit about the design parameters, and then I'll show it to you in person. First of all, it needs to be small. It needs to be flat, so it's transportable, lightweight, portable, uses very, very little power, very, very high resolution, has to be visible in bright daylight, will work anywhere, and broadly applicable across many platforms. Now, we've actually done some research. Neil Gershenfeld and the Fab Labs went out into the market. They did some research. We came back, and we think we have the perfect prototype of what the students in the field are actually asking for. And here it is, the $100 computer. Okay, excellent. Now, I bought this device from Clifford Stoll for about $900. And he and his team of junior high school students were doing real science. So we were trying to check and trying to douse here and see who uses marijuana. Are we going to be able to find any marijuana, Jim Young? Only if we open enough locker doors. Okay, now, smallpox is an extremely distressing illness. We had Dr. Larry Brilliant talking about how we eradicated smallpox. I wanted to show you the stages of smallpox. We start, this is day 1. Day 2, day 3, she gets a massively big pox on her shoulder. Day 3, day 4, day 5, and day 6. Now, the good news is because I'm a trained medical professional, I know that even though she'll be scarred for life, she's going to make a full recovery. Now, the good news about Architects for Humanity is they're really kind of the most amazing group. They've been sponsoring a design competition to come up with innovative medical housing solutions, clinic solutions in Africa, and they've had a design competition. Now, the wonderful thing is Larry Brilliant was just appointed the head of the Google Foundation, and so he decided that he would support Cameron's work. And the way he decided to support that work was by shipping over 50,000 shipping containers of Google snacks. So I want to show you some prototypes. The UN, they took 20 years just to add a flap to a tent. But I think we have some more exciting things. This is a home made entirely out of fruit roll-ups. and those roll-up cookies coated with white chocolate. And the really wonderful thing about this is when you're done, well, you can eat it. But the thing that I'm really, really excited about is this incredible granola house. And the granola house has a special sun-chip roof to collect water and recycle it. And as well, on this side, it has regular Sour Patch Kids and gummy bears to let in the light. But on this side, it has sugary gummy bears to diffuse the light more slightly. And we wanted just to show you what this might look like in situ. So Einstein, tell me, what's your favorite song? No, I said, what's your favorite song? No, I said, what's your favorite song? Freebird! Okay, so Einstein, what's your favorite singing group? Could you say that again? What's your favorite singing group? Okay, one more time. I'm just going to give you a little help. Your favorite singing group, it's Diana Ross and the...
Supremes.
Exactly! Can we have the sound up on the laptop, please? Freebird kind of reminds me that if you listen to Freebird backwards, this is what you might hear.
Satan, 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 Satan.
Now, it's a little hard to hear the whole message, so I wanted to help you a little bit.
My sweet Satan, damn Dennett, worship Satan. Buy the purpose-driven life, or Satan will take your soul.
So, we've talked a lot about global warming, but, as Jill said, it sounds kind of nice, good weather in the wintertime in New York City. And as Jay Walker pointed out, that is just not scary enough. So, Al, I actually think I'm rather good at branding. So I've tried to figure out a good design process to come up with a new term to replace global warming. So we started with blabblefish. We put in global warming, and then we decided that we'd change it from English to Dutch into het global verwevormen. From Dutch to Chinese into Chinese to Portuguese, acuiarse global. Then Portuguese to Pig Latin. Acuiarse octave. And then finally back into the English, which is we're totally fucked. Now, I don't know about you, but Michael Shermer talked about the willingness for human beings, evolutionarily, they're designed to see patterns in things. For example, in cheese sandwiches. Now, can you look at that carefully and see if you see the Virgin Mary? I've tried to make it a little clearer. Is it the Virgin Mary, or is it Mina Trott? So we talked to Joss Price Ramus about this convention center and the conference. It's getting awfully big. It's getting just a little bit too big. It's bursting at the seams here a little bit. So we tried to come up with a program how we could remake this structure to better accommodate TED. So first of all, we decided that we needed about 1/3 bookstore, 1/3 Google Cafe, about 20% registration, 80% luxury hotel, about 5% for restrooms, and then of course we wanted to have the simulcast lounge, the lobby, and the Steinbeck Forum. Now let me show you how that literally translated into the design program. So first, one of the problems with Monterey is that if there is global warming and Greenland melts, as you say, the ocean level is going to rise 20 feet and flood the hell out of the convention center. So we're going to build this new building on stilts. So we build this building on stilts. Then up here, is where we're going to put the new Steinbeck Auditorium. And the wonderful thing about the new bookstore is it's going to be shaped in a spiral that's organized by the Dewey Decimal System. Then we're going to make an escalator that helps you get up there. And finally, we're going to put the Marriott Hotel and the Portola Plaza on the top. Now, I don't know about you, but sometimes I have these images in my head of separated at birth. I don't know about you, but when I see Aubrey de Grey, I immediately go to Gandalf the Grey. Okay, now, we've heard, of course, that we're all soldiers here. So what I'd really, really like you to do now is pick up your white piece of paper. Does everybody have their white piece of paper? And I want you to get out a pen, and I want you to write a terrorist note. If we put up the Elmo for a moment, if we put up the Elmo, then we'll get, I'll give you a model that you can work from, okay? And then I want you to fold that note into a paper airplane. And once you fold it into a paper airplane, I want you to take some anthrax. And I want you to put that in the paper airplane. And I want you to throw it on Jim Young. Luckily, I was the recipient of the TED Prize this year. And I want to dedicate this film to my father, Homer. Okay. Now, this film isn't really hard enough, so I wanted to make it a little bit harder, so I'm going to try and do this while reciting pi. 3.1415, 2657, 753, 8567, 24972, 85871, 25871, 3928, 5657, 2592, 5624. Can we cue the music, please? Now, I wanted to use this talk to talk about global warming a little bit. Back in 1968, you can see that the mountain range of Brokeback Mountain was covered in 151 inches of snowpack. Parenthetically, over there on the slopes, I did want to show you that black men ski. But over the years, 10 years later, the snowpacks eroded, and if you notice, the trees have started turning yellow. The water level of the lake has started drying up. A few years later, there's no snow left at all, and all the trees have turned brown. This year, unfortunately, the lake beds turned to an absolute cracked, dry bed. And I fear, if we do nothing for our planet, in 20 years, it's going to look like this. Mr. Vice President, I wish I knew how to quit you. Thank you very much. Oh!